Buckle up, Buttercup, because I'm about to take you on a trip down Revelation Lane. And it all started with these. No, not those. These black and white checkers. Black and white checkered patterns, which often represent duality and are often worn by a certain group of people. So I decided to take a closer look. And well, she was just a random post on my feed that caught my attention, but like I said, I decided to take a closer look. Diana D, and well, she was Miss 5 times Goat. And well, where I thought it could be innocent at first, I decided to continue diving in, so I checked one of her videos. And this is where things took a very interesting turn, because she was talking to her husband about what she should get him for Father's Day, and well, I recognize that face. I recognize that face as CrossFit athlete who just recently died, Rob Orlando. So then I decided to go to Rob Orlando's page. It was still up even though he...
my DMs at all, and I just did, and holy shit! The amount of people that have sent me this post. Hey, I am so glad that my black and white checkers inspired you. And what a trip. How much Ryan looks like those guys. I see the resemblance, but I'm going to be a little biased. My husband's way hotter. Just saying. But what I will say is freaky. I know that he's saying that the guy's deaths are fake. Let's just say for all intents and purposes, they are not fake deaths, and they are in fact dead. I don't want my husband grouped with these guys because I don't want my husband to die. He's 46. I'm 36. I don't want this. He's already 10 years older than me. I already have that working against me. I don't want him to die on me. So we're not going to put that juju out there. They'll with me till he's 100.
Are The Simpsons and Mountain Dew about to do it again? If you don't know who this guy is, look him up. He's part of the ruling elite class, elite, that run this place. And I'm pretty sure he's based off of him, even down to his little spots up there. Check it out. And that. Follow along. I'm going to show you what they're predicting. So this is what I'm being hit with in my area right now. Just tons and tons of snow. There's supposed to be like 5 to 8 more tonight. And people are already losing power everywhere. My lights have even flickered in and out. But check this out. Look at the snow. People are going to potentially be snowed in. And then look at this weather that's coming. Wouldn't this be the perfect time? And I'm not trying to scare people or fearmonger, but snow people in. And then that weather's coming and just going to be freezing. It's going to cause some trouble. You know, if you're in an area and without power for several days and you're snowed in and you can't go get firewood or anything, I'm just saying. But follow along, and I want to show you this could be happening. They love predicting things. They do have the plans. Here comes Mr. Rothschild's here. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the Mountain Dew aspect of this, but Baja Blast. Mountain Dew is the same as Simpsons. So we've had the Baja Blast, and then what happened to Baja.
Most locals heeded the warnings, but some remained skeptical of how big an impact the hurricane could have. Historically, the region has largely dealt with mild storms, including some that officials initially warned could be catastrophic.
And then we all know what happened in Maui, and they just happened to have this. And if you still think Maui was a forest fire, you've got some research to do. Mountain Dew, DEW, direct energy weapon. This was captured on the day of that fire. And they have this one. Mountain Dew has this one out. What have we seen with this yet? Nothing. So all I'm saying is be careful. You don't need to run out to stores or anything, but just keep your head on a swivel, okay? Everyone be safe. Look to God. I'm going to leave you with a few more things. If you don't think they have the potential or the ability to manipulate the weather, you need to look into HAARP, okay? Look into HAARP, and let me show you a few more things. This is right from a government website. You can go read about it yourself.
Physicists are firing trillion-watt lasers into the sky to actually precipitate rain clouds and actually bring down lightning bolts. And you have water vapor and you have dust particles or ice crystals. You can precipitate rain. It condenses around the seeds. These seeds can also be created by laser beams. By firing trillion-watt lasers, you rip apart the electrons, creating what are called ions. And these ions act like seeds, like dust particles.
You can do rain, you can do snow.
Bringing down rain and even lightning.
Don't think they can manipulate the weather, huh? Think the snow is natural? Let's see. I've seen people do this where it actually lights on fire. Now, if this was normal run-of-the-mill snow, it should melt, right? Let's see what happens here. Basically, I was burning a hole right through it. If you notice, nothing dripping. Nothing is dripping. I'm heating this and nothing is dripping because it's just burning off. It's literally burning off. I don't know if you can see. Water should nothing, not one drip. Not burn. There's not one drip on Yes, there's evaporation. That's not what was happening. Because it's burning off because it's chemical snow. Look at this. I'm putting a hole in this thing. And there's not been one tiny drop. Not one drop. I'm going to show you. Not one drop down there. Try it yourself. It's crazy. The Bachelor or The Rapture? I was watching the show, my wife was watching this show last night, and I noticed something.
Oh, what to expect. I believe that. And the thing is, just when you think you've seen it all, that's when Bachelor Nation takes it to a whole different level. I can't guarantee I can keep you fully safe. Okay. Do you have a safe word? Safe word. Gets too crazy at pineapple. Mine's platypus.
So not only did I catch that, but did you hear his safe word, platypus? It struck me strange, and my spidey senses have been tingling like crazy lately. So I typed it in the good old Gematria calculator and scrolled on down, and I bet you can guess, if you've seen my other videos, what I found. Now this is coming on the heels of my Demon Face post, where that name struck me as odd, so I put it in the Gematria calculator, and this is what came up. Now I'm not saying this is coming, but what I am saying is that something is, and it's something that you're going to need discernment for. And the best way you can have discernment is to detoxify, to do some fasting, to get right with the big guy upstairs, and to, like I said, use discernment. And as always, I'm a satire account. I'm just here to make you guys laugh, just here for entertainment. The Bachelor or The Rapture?
Guess what we learned today at school?
What did you learn?
We learned about how the Earth went around the sun.
Do you want to tell them the truth?
Yeah. So first, God set the Earth on its foundation. It can never be moved. So how does it go around the sun? Second, God is enthroned above the circle. Yes, it is a circle, but not round like a ball. He's enthroned above the circle of the earth. Third, in Revelations, it says that there are four corners of the earth. Now, tell me, how can there be four corners of a round ball? Okay, fourth, God created a firmament, split the waters above and below. This is why our rainbows are shaped how they are. And when you hear thunder, it echoes off our firmament. Fifth, in Isaiah, God sits on his throne above the circle of the earth. Also, God set the sun, the moon, and the stars in the firmament to give Earth light. This gives you an idea of what our Earth actually looks like. We have never gone past the firmament, and let me tell you this. NASA in Hebrew means to deceive. All this was about was question everything. Oh, and I needed to add that the moon and sun move around inside of our firmament. Oh, and guys, this is purely entertainment only.
They are not who you think they are. And they have been here a lot longer than you realize. That's Andrew Jackson for the uninitiated. And that is Andrew Jackson's wife. Andrew Jackson's wife, Anne Maxwell. And like I said, they are not who you think they are. But it's not just them, all of them. They have been here a lot longer than you realize. That's General Patton. And these are a whole bunch of stars. Tom Brady, Larry Hagman, Houdini, Joe Burrow, Mickey Mantle, Christian McCaffrey, Kobe Bryant, Wilt Chamberlain, H.P. Lovecraft, Michael Phelps, Travis Kelce, the guy who created the Pony Express, Michael Jordan, and Jackie Robinson. It's all of them. Teddy Roosevelt, Robin Williams, who is supposedly dead but is now Uncle Pappy, who literally age reduced to become this guy, young Uncle Pappy. Blair, Viggo Mortensen, Kirk Douglas, the entire cast of Seinfeld, who all used to be other known actors, stars. If you can't see that Kramer used to literally be Dean Martin, well then you should probably get your eyes checked. You really think Taylor Swift just resembles the Church of Satan's Zena LaVey that much? No. Her. Do you really think Hugh Jackman just resembles country singer who died at age 33, Keith Whitley, that much? No. They're the same entity. They're not human. They're fallen angels who have been here all along. That's Rudolph Steiner, Hugh Jackman. That's Dale Earnhardt, who supposedly hit a wall, and that's Morgan Wallen. I don't just speculate on this. I don't just mash faces together and say they're the same. I provide evidence. Evidence like Morgan Wallen having a gaping scar under his right eye. Kind of like, exactly like Dale Earnhardt, who hit a wall, Morgan Wallen. They're mocking you, and I'm trying to help you. And it's all of them, even your heroes like Tom Brady with the exact same butt chin as I Dream of Jeannie star Larry Hagman, the exact same lips and nose and forehead wrinkles and hairline. But it's not just the symmetry, folks. I don't speculate. I prove, because even though they can shapeshift, their markings, their scars, their physical markings remain the same, kind of like these two and those two on Larry Hagman and Tom Brady. And they always tell us,
Yes, Julian, watch out. I'm still coming for you. You're getting older, and I'm staying the same age. He really is. Look at him. We want to see how you...
Look out, Julian, you're getting a rocky reality. They are not who you think they are. And are you still trying to figure out who that really is? Even after my first video? My first video where I make a pretty convincing case that this is no coincidence. But if you're still not convinced, hang on to your seats, because I got some new information, and it all stems from this beautiful statue constructed in 1848. You see, that statue is actually a statue of Lucifer, and it's called the Genius of Evil. And when you look closely, there are some pretty unmistakable similarities between this statue and a certain statue in the NYC. Let's start by examining this chain attached to Lucifer's ankle. Could that be a symbol of being imprisoned in the bottomless pit for 1,000 years? And you'd probably have never noticed, but I sure did. A very similar chain attached to that Statue of Liberty. And when you look at the faces of those two seemingly unrelated statues, they sure bear an awful similar resemblance. And did you happen to notice what Lucifer was holding in his hand in that statue? A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 point crown? Well, have you ever noticed how many points are in the Statue of Liberty's crown? And did you happen to notice what type of fruit was hanging out in the bottom of that statue as well? And well, I really don't have to go here, do I? And although small, and at the very bottom of the statue, did you notice this torch laying on the ground? That torch that just also happens to bear a very similar resemblance? That torch that Lucifer, the light bearer, is often depicted with right in plain sight. So much in plain sight that you probably look right past it and might even unknowingly be rooting for it. But nah, it's all just a coincidence. They just happen to look alike and have the same pointed crown and the same torch and the same association with an apple and the same chain. Just a big coincidence. Just the way this is all a coincidence too. No one really worships any fallen angels and pays tribute to them through characters that a lot of people look up to. Just like the Vatican would never actually call their telescope Lucifer. It's just all jokes. It's all for fun. It's all entertainment. But stay tuned for some more information on that. But like I said, this was all for shits and gigs, for your entertainment, because that's all I am. Satire and entertainment purposes only. Are you still trying? What if I told you all the presidents, and I mean all of them, were still alive? But I wasn't going to just speculate on it. I was going to prove it. Here's Teddy Roosevelt. Here's Robin Williams. And that's both of their wives. And here's Andrew Jackson and his wife. And, well, what if we paired a younger picture with Miss Jackson with Miss Maxwell? Do you think that they might just fit pretty well down to the lips, the nose, and eye placement? And what if this goes back to our very first president and his wife, Martha? Funny how he looks a little more feminine than her. And a subscriber, Samantha, pointed out the resemblance of Glenn Close and George Washington. Funny, Glenn, especially spelled like Glenn Close, Glenn. It's a funny name for a girl. You want to see something even funnier? Here's Glenn Close's husband. And, well, do you recognize him? How about now? That's Martha Washington. Glenn Close's husband, Martha Washington. And I'm going to stop after this one for a second. Here's the 25th president, William McKinley, and I couldn't help but notice how identical he looked to Dumb and Dumber star Jeff Daniels. Oh, and the first time I ever happened to see this, they started talking about Dumb and Dumber randomly on the TV in the very first second. And you know what's even funnier than that is how he's got a little mark right there. Good old President McKinley. And oh, look at that. So does Jeff Daniels. I did a 10-minute video on this that I'm testing out for the subscribers of mine, because if anything's going to get censored and shut down and give me account bans and strikes and warnings, it's this one. And let me tell you what that whole video is about. It's how they're not human. Here's Alec Baldwin and President Fillmore. And I say they're not human, and they tell us what they are. Just like the Book of Enoch says, fallen angels are referred to as stars. Go watch the 10-minute video. I'll release it eventually, but I need to test the waters because it's a doozy, and I think it explains exactly what's going on. But of course, all this is for entertainment purposes. I'm sure that they all just are doppelgangers. What if I